Hey, what's up, beautiful people? Today's episode is entitled Redefining Masculinity.
What is masculinity?
And how the hell have we gotten it wrong? Okay.
This is the Hear Him Out Show, a show we created for men to be heard, where women are welcome to listen.
Yo, what's up, beautiful people? Yo, today on the Hear 'Em Out Show, we are talking about redefining masculinity because this whole idea of toxic masculinity and associating masculinity with toxicity as just a normal thing, we ain't with that because we both identify as some masculine ass dudes. But both of us identify as masculine ass dudes, but that doesn't mean it's toxic in and of itself, because masculinity is just things that are associated, the traits that are associated with manliness and men. But somewhere along the line we got it wrong, especially on social media and especially societally. So when you think about masculinity, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I like to define both femininity and masculinity as essences. As an essence that is just being. It is outside of moral structure. It's outside of your choice. It's outside of where you would like for it. It is an essence that seems to be stronger than your analytical inclinations. And so the masculine essence to me, when I have broken it all the way down, we can say it's protection. We can say it's providing.
Yeah.
We can say that it's all of these things. Our piece that makes us men is that which is protruding. So they say that it's the positive side of the battery, whereas the women, their piece is inside. So it's the negative side of the battery.
It's like the positive sign, bro, the negative.
Yeah.
And then they come together and then you got energy.
Yeah, exactly. And you got energy. And of course, negative in this aspect doesn't mean bad. It means negative. There's just negative. Y'all got to think scientifically. When you stick your feet in bare grass, it's negative ions that are being exchanged with your feet. It's not bad. So I like to define masculinity as the seed which brings forth life.
Hold up. We getting. I wish I had some damn sage or something. So
we smudged before we started.
Right. So masculinity is the seed that brings forth life, and also what you said before. I love the idea of femininity and masculinity as essence. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that softens the blow.
Because, and the reason why I say essence is, I'll break this down real quick because that's important for the episode. Both men and women have masculinity and femininity. I believe masculinity is the seed that brings forth life. I believe that femininity is the womb of life. That's why it is internal. It has to guard it while it's being gestated and brought to life, right?
Okay,
so
facts.
Men have the ability to, of course, bring forth life and to be a womb of life as well. For instance, your brain is a womb for a whole world when you're coming up with a song. So you have the feminine essence to do that, and a woman has the masculine essence to climb to the top of the ladder of her workforce, because that is an idea of acquisition. It is forward movement. So we both have both.
Right.
Masculinity today we are focusing on because hear us out. There is a very weird definition going around, and it's being imbued with a term that all of y'all are using. Toxic masculinity.
Yes.
And now everybody has this view of masculinity in their mind that it can't be divine, and it is. The essence of it is divine. I think it's the seed that brings forth life.
Okay. So let's talk about that, because you use this a lot, all right? Divine masculinity. Like, I hear you say it, but like kind of break that down, because I'm still like, okay, divine masculinity. Like, we know what masculinity is. What's the divine masculinity?
When you add divine in front of it, to me, what you're now adding is the essence of whatever you believe is the Most High. So if you believe the Most High to be that which is benevolent, that which is Alpha and Omega, I don't care what name you call it. If it is of good nature, then that now adds that color to the word masculinity. So that you're protecting and you're providing, but you're not doing it in a negative way. Protecting has a negative side of the spectrum. So a divine masculine protects not just by training so that he can make sure that his girl is safe when y'all out and about, your family is safe, but you also practice making her emotions feel safe. You're protecting her emotions when y'all are inside the house.
So when we let me get this. So when you talk about divine masculinity, I love that. It's the protecting, the planning, and all that stuff, but it's also how you do it. Because I know for dudes, we're very literal. So when we think about protecting, it's like, yo, get the hell away from my girl, as opposed to, I know you're in an emotional state. You just went through this. Instead of me being in my masculine side of, man the hell up, grow a pair, baby. It's, okay, I need to protect your feelings right now. Even though some of that shit might feel illogical right now. Yeah. Right now, you need this protection. So I'm going to protect you by giving you this space, shutting the hell up and listening. So that can be a form.
Yeah, because how is the woman supposed to feel safe? we're protecting because we want them to feel safe, right?
Facts.
When you protect something, it is safe. How is she supposed to feel safe if the main person who's providing the protection doesn't make her feel like she can be heard without being attacked or be felt without being attacked?
It's real.
That's literally the opposite. In Kings, the voice is so subtle. They say the devil's in the details, and fuck that. God is in the details.
Ooh,
it's subtle.
facts.
You have small little opportunities during your conversations to choose whether you're going to just be this toxic form of masculinity or whether you're going to be the godly form. The godly form takes something so subtle, and it's a word that we use all the time, but it's listening. It just takes a very specific form of listening.
I love that. No, on that. So if we're gonna separate divine masculinity from toxic masculinity, what came to my mind when you were speaking right now is ego, right? So you can look at ego, ego, edging God out, right?
Oh, shit.
You're edging God out of the equation, which means it's no longer divine. It's just the masculine. So when I think about a lot of the times for us dudes, I know we want to be the problem solvers,
Yes.
right? And I want to be the reason you're okay. What I've had to learn being married in a relationship and all that shit is like, that ain't necessarily my problem. That ain't necessarily my responsibility, better yet, to do that stuff. The ego says, I want to be the reason for this. But the divine masculine says, yo, there's maybe a feminine way to handle this. Maybe that approach is better than my masculine. Let's get this shit done. Man up. Stop crying. Let's do it. This ain't worth it. So I think that's something when you talk about divine masculinity that comes to mind. It's like, can we put our ego aside? Because I'm a be masculine, and we're gonna talk about a little bit, like in fatherhood and marriage and stuff. But I love that. So that's kind of divine masculinity to you, right? Yeah. All right. So for me, redefining masculinity. Fellas, I'm gonna sit my ass up for this one.
Gotta get the posture right for the message.
This is a revelation, right? So this might be a bit unpopular, and I know there's gonna be some ladies talking about speak on it. And fellas, I'm not reaching. This ain't no pick me energy right now. I'm just keeping it real. And any good dude out there, any father knows this. There's very few things more masculine, divine masculine, than taking care of your damn seed.
Oh, say.
I hear dudes say this, and now this does not apply, right, to dudes who are handling their business. This applies to cats who are very popping in and out of their kid's life or ain't even in their kid's life. There's nothing more divinely masculine than taking care of what the hell you created. What did you say? The masculine is the
seed that brings forth life.
So if we have this seed that brings forth life, and we're not in the life of that life, there ain't nothing. Nothing more bitch made than that.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
I know situations are different. I know a couple of cats who their baby mamas have made it damn near impossible be in their child's life. So I feel for you. There's only so much you can do, right? The power is different, right? But for the cats that are choosing, one thing I hate. One thing, G, that really grinds my gears, all right, that gets under my skin, is when a dude says, I'll do anything for my kid. But you're not even in your damn kid's life. I'll do anything for my kid. But you only pop up on big occasions. Y'all, I had shit. This is no cap, all right? I had shit in my fingernails, right? My baby was constipated. I had to change a diaper. Wifey was asleep. A lot of dudes in my position, I'm the breadwinner in my house, right? My wife, we have twins. She had to stop working. So right now, for a short amount of time, I got to make sure I'm doing that. So I'm the breadwinner. A lot of dudes like, I did my job. The normal masculine definition is, I've done my job. I ain't got to do shit. But the real masculine is, I brought forth this life. Not only am I going to handle my business as a man in a masculine way outside of the relationship, making sure shit is together, but when I get inside it, I'm like, yo, you talk about protecting. I'm going to protect your energy because I know you tired as hell. You take a few hours. You sleep in. I'm going to take the kids. Do I mess up sometimes? Of course. Do I make mistakes? Of course. But the effort is everything. I hear so many women in marriages talk about there's not enough effort put forth. Now, in defense of some dudes, okay, it's a sidebar. Enough is never fucking enough. Yeah, I will say that. No matter what I do, I know my lady appreciates it, but it's always going to be the one thing I messed up. I forgot to take out the trash, but I did the dishes. I babied. I diapered. All right. So there is an essence of that. So fellas, my married men with kids, enough is never enough. You will always be most of the blame and get very little of the credit. I acknowledge that. But that's also part of the divine masculine, our capacity to carry shit, our capacity to have more on our shoulders. So if you're not taking care of your seed, I don't know if you that dude. I don't think that's the antithesis to divine masculine. And being married will redefine what masculinity is.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up seeing dudes change diapers, put babies to sleep. But I will tell you this. This has been one of the benefits, right? My confidence and my manliness, my masculinity, bro. When people see me and my big ass just pushing two babies, one's crying, I'm changing the diaper, another one, and I'm handling it with grace. You know how many times I get, even though it's unnecessary, I know ladies, y'all don't hear this, but I'm sorry, hear me out. You the dad of the year, yo, I see you. Because I don't see enough dudes, and I'm not propping myself up in any way, shape, or form. Every now and again, I see a dude, and I'm like, yo, I see you, G. I see you. Yeah. I see you, King. Yeah. It's hard.
It's like a nod that's spoken without having to be said.
It's like if you served in the military, right? And you retire, like, okay, you've been through the trenches with me. You know what's up. There's a greater respect amongst men for that. Beautiful. I know my dudes, my man Stu behind the camera, my brother Shakim, they know exactly what I'm going through and experience. And these are two dudes I respect a lot, and they have a greater respect for me. And so I love the fact that men I respect are respecting me back. And what I get from other women, so your divine masculinity is elevated to another level when you're doing shit and redefining it. Because you don't see dudes getting shit in their fingertips and stuff from changing diapers. You don't see cats, I'm tired, I'm doing all this stuff. Because it's like, no, that ain't my job. That's her job. No, it's not. We brought forth the seed. Now, it's different because I work for myself. So I get an opportunity. It's not a 9-to-5 type situation. But the fact that I'm active and present in my kid's life. So when you talk about dudes who will post some shit because you saw your kid for the first time in a month and you just been out there living your life, that for me personally, I've stopped talking to certain friends who are just exiting their kid's life because it's easier.
Yeah.
Being a man, the masculine, don't fucking take the easy way out.
Yeah, it's impossible. There's a sculpture of a guy named Atlas back in Greek mythology. Yep. And the sculpture is him holding the world on his shoulders.
Brother,
and well, this guy brought out in the talk the other day, he was pretty much saying that we try to run away from responsibility, but the people that we look up to the most are the people who have probably taken on and been able to bear the most responsibility.
Facts.
And so if we use that motif as a divine masculine to say something that you said in the previous episode, that especially in a marriage, it's constantly under refinement. It's something that you're constantly checking in on and being under refinement.
Constantly.
To consider that it's not a finished product. To me, the divine masculine is always growing, because the feminine essence it's like the chaotic waters that's constantly bringing forth pure potentiality, and it can go left, it can go right. Facts. Like the Taoists call it chaos. It can go anywhere, it can explode and but in it has all the potential in the world. And then the masculine essence is what's guiding that pure potential that can go anywhere. It's like putting it into a sniper rifle, and the more refined you are, the more accurate you can be.
Intentionality, G.
Yeah, that intentionality is really what the zeroing in of the scope is our masculine essence has to have intention, or else you start to see the exact characteristics that could be used for good being used to start world wars. And we see that so-and-so is bombing so-and-so now and blah, blah. If you use that same essence for benevolent causes, that's when I believe we take the turn to divine masculinity. We're trying to bring forth life, not take away life.
Yo, and that's so important. Now, on that real quick, before we get into the segment of the day and wrap this up, I just want to, there's this thing going around. Hear me out, okay? Women, I understand. You said it at the top of the episode. There is both feminine and masculine energy in all of us, and I 100% agree with that. Ladies, there's this new trend where it's cool to be over masculine, to be hyper masculine, to I don't need a man, I make more, I do this, and like there's this thing, y'all are, and not all of y'all, but for those who apply, y'all are literally becoming a thing you despise. There's some toxic women out there because I'm masculine. I don't need no man. I can talk down to a man, all this shit. That is not cool. If you want a masculine dude, which some of y'all do, you want the alpha male, you want that dude, he's more masculine than he's feminine. Yeah. You need to be more feminine than you're masculine, okay? Yeah. And it's not, we're not talking about, oh, you got to submit and do all that stuff. No dude ain't trying to whip you into submission. I got to prove that. No. You know what? Fuck submission. Excuse my language. Forget submission. Cooperation.
All right, that's a better word. Yeah, I like cooperation.
Just cooperate. The fact of the matter is, even though we got masculine and feminine energy, we don't know how to tap into that feminine energy all the way. I can't be more nurturing than you. I can't be more comforting than you. All those things that you do naturally. Just like I doubt you can do the things that I do. And a man is not gonna want a woman who seems like, oh, if you got all this masculinity and you think you can take over everything, you think you can handle everything, why the am I here?
Well, to me, that's one of the biggest traps of all is whenever any type of doctrine or any teacher or any friend is trying to convince you that you are supposed to do without the opposite polarity of whatever it is that harmonizes with you, then they are trying to pull you into a trap. There's nothing about this earth that says one individual thing is supposed to do without its counterpart. You see the exact opposite. You see everything working in divine harmony, man. When I was in the jungles of Costa Rica, we was talking about Costa Rica the other day.
Yeah.
I was in the jungle, man. We were staying in this jungle, the spiders this big, just beautiful. I'm sitting out there at nighttime, and it's a literal orchestra. And the howler monkeys are going, and the frogs are going, and the little geckos have these little sounds, and everything has a harmony to add to the song.
Facts.
And there's nobody out there who's just singing for themselves. Anything who's teaching you you're supposed to be out here just figuring this shit out yourself, they're an idiot. They're stupid.
Hear him out.
And that's something with femininity nowadays that I see. I'm sorry, with feminists nowadays, you see Derrida, and really all this stuff comes from a whole doctrine of people that were in rebellion against something you don't even know about. Feminists have roots that go back to white men. That's not even you. That's new era Marxism and things that were. Yeah, Derrida and all, that's
Let's go in deep. Look it up. Google it. Okay.
Just look up. If you look up the origins of feminists, it's gonna give you a dopaminergic hit just like any other drug, but it's not sustainable.
Right.
So to me, the things that are sustainable are that which is harmonic, especially when it's harmonic in benevolence, and divine masculinity is the essence of harmony to me.
And which is why we have to redefine what masculinity is. Because what we're having right now is we have these red pillars and stuff that are saying masculinity is just this one side of it. It's just, you submit to me, I'm a high value man, all this other shit that has some truth, but a lot of bullshit. And then you have all these women who are out here saying, you ain't man enough for this. You're defining masculinity. You're not even a man. So you're trying to tell us what a man looks like. No, that's not a man. That's your version of it. So it's up to us. Anybody who's listening at vibes with us and is on the same frequency, redefine what masculinity is to you. And we know deep down inside when you holding up your end of the bargain, we know deep down inside when we're the best version of ourselves as a man and we walking in our masculine divinity, we know that shit. And that's why so many cats are playing small. They putting on the outfit and shit. That's not what it is.
They're dressing it up. Boy, they dress it up nice too, man. Boy, when them turtlenecks and gold chains came out and it was over, man. Just before you know it, everybody looks like you don't know who's what. Nigga got crystals on. The nigga can have the labradorite on.
Right.
And he's just, and really,
talking about chakras and shit.
Talking about chakras and, hey, baby, let me tune up that chakra.
You get that 1111 text thinking about you, Queen.
Brother, he didn't have the text queued up for 10 minutes. Brother, don't fall for it. To me, they're all traps. And to me, divine masculinity is so important because we are the ones that point out the traps.
Facts.
We point them out. I'm at how many times your kid's about to fall off and you grab the kid, and how many times kid comes home talking to you about something going on with girls and you say, son, just focus on the books. And it's like these are things that society needs. It needs the pure potentiality constantly bellowing forth with opportunity, but it also needs a direct area to shoot it because that's how these microphones were made and that's how this couch was sculpted. And that's why we're even able to record on these cameras because somebody said the eye works this way. So let's rebuild something that can work like the eye. And pure potentiality ended up condensing and compressing into this beautiful contraption that we're shooting on now. So divine masculinity is important and should be regarded. In my unpopular opinion for the day.
Oh, segment of the day. Let's hit it. Unpopular opinion. Let's go.
My unpopular opinion for the day is that essence shouldn't be defined by women. Ooh. Just how the essence of femininity shouldn't be defined by men.
So the essence of masculinity should not be defined by women.
No, but you know why? You know why?
Break it down.
Because I do have a percentage of femininity within me.
Facts.
Matter of fact, I would suggest everybody try putting the percentages in place. I did mine when I last checked. I was 65-35.
Okay.
65-35. I'm an artist, man.
Right.
I'm an artist,
100%.
brother. I'm an artist. 65-35. So because it's at such a lesser percentage than the masculine, I would never dare to disrespect the feminine essence by trying to encapsulate it in a definition when I'm not even the majority percentage of it.
Translation. What the hell would it look like if we tried to tell a woman what femininity is and what a real woman is? It looks just as ridiculous as a woman trying to say what a real man is.
Because at the end of the day, the definitions and characteristics, at the end of the day, the characteristics that would be on the list of toxic masculinity are probably things that could be used for good if they were purified and put on the divine masculine side. And
Facts.
Women don't really know that because it's not bellowing forth within them. They don't know what it feels like to want to fuck somebody every 10 seconds. I don't know. Maybe y'all do.
Maybe y'all do, but not like us.
But you know, just that alone, there was one of the homies at the sound bath the other day said he's a football player. He's an NFL football player. He said even though he has an awareness of the femininity in him, he is constantly always trying to go out and conquer something else.
Right.
Always trying to learn something else.
Right.
It's like a conquistador. It's like we just never know why we need more, but we need more.
Facts.
That's a masculine essence because the feminine is pushing us forward and we're trying to find a way that we're going to express that. We're trying to snipe it right at the bullseye. So allow that process to happen. Like detail it out, find ways to exercise both. And you'll start finding that there are beautiful ways to put divine masculine aspects into practice in ways that we probably don't know, you know. So
and I love that. And on that, we gonna wrap it up. I think we gave y'all enough to ponder and to meditate on. But just this whole idea of masculinity, we completely refute that masculinity and toxic masculinity are one and the same. And an idea of divine masculinity, y'all, really you have to define it for yourself. But it's so damn important for us to reclaim that shit. Women cannot tell us what it is to be a man or what it is to be masculine, okay? And we have to really stop looking at this red pill shit or what some feminist woman is saying it is, and we have to redefine that shit for ourselves. And if you take that time to do so, I promise you, whatever definition you come up with, whatever essence you end up deriving from it, it's gonna free you up. Something special we do here today at the Hear 'Em Out show is we like to clear the space before we get out of here. We like to leave the physical space in a better place than it was when we got here, and we like to leave you, the viewer and the listener, in a better space. So Shakim, how are we gonna do that today?
Well, I brought my shells from my wonderful teacher, Miss Judith. I love using the shells for grounding, for shaking away any unnecessary sludgy energies, man. I literally feel them shaking off the rust as they're going around my bodies.
I love it. Yo, we hope y'all vibe with us, okay? Redefining masculinity. Whatever that is to you, that's on you. But it's up to us. It's up for the men to take back that mantle and redefine it for ourselves in a way that fits us and helps our divine and feminine queens. And with that being said, y'all, this has been a Hear 'Em Out show, a place for men to be heard, but women are welcome to listen.
And our aim is to speak truth, add value, and offer a perspective that has the opportunity to lead to growth and elevation.
We love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.